Okay, well, we want to give Chef Alyssa the most time that we can to get to the main
Yes.
part of the show, which is the cooking. So we're all here in the right place. Just some guidelines. I think you guys have figured this out already. You got the chat. Your microphones have been muted when you come in. So if you do have questions coming along the way, feel free to put them into the chat. Allison and I will be monitoring that and bring your questions forward as we can. And by way of introduction, this is your team that's with you today. So we've got first of all, our amazing chef Alyssa. She's a personal chef, over 25 years of experience. We're so lucky to have her. She just combines great flavors, good nutrition, putting that all together. Some of us might be thinking that wasn't even an equation that would work, but it does, right? Good flavors and good nutrition. And then we've got Allison and myself. We're both wellness coaches with Kaiser Permanente, and we're here to support the process. So you're in really good hands. And just to start off with, we like to talk a little bit about the plant-based diet and why this is so important for us to talk about. And really the reason is because it's the only diet that has significantly shown you can prevent and reverse chronic diseases. So type 2 diabetes, coronary artery disease, right? Food is medicine. And when we use it in that manner, we can actually reverse disease. And that's a really big deal, right? Preventing and reversing disease. But what really constitutes a whole food plant-based diet? Well, it really celebrates the food in its most natural form, which means closest to the way that it was grown. That includes fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. And while we're celebrating those foods, we're also intentionally minimizing processed foods or ultra processed foods. You sometimes hear that term, and that means foods that have refined sugars, white flours, and animal derived foods. So all of those foods can create an excess load on our body, and then it's taxed with processing all of that. So we want to minimize that. Now, I get that this can feel a little daunting at first, and that's why we have this wonderfully coined phrase up on the screen here. These words are from Michael Pollan. He's an American author and a journalist. He's written extensively about food and health, and he gave us this simple phrase to go by. Eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. So that kind of demystifies the whole thing right there. We don't need to overcomplicate it. And I'm guessing for most of you, right, we come into this class, we know vegetables are good for us and we want to eat them, but a lot of times that barrier to actually doing it is, again, either not knowing how to prepare them or they're just not seen as being very delicious, right? It's a chore to eat the vegetables. So we hope to really shift this mindset and open you up to a new way of experiencing healthy food because we want to be able to love the food that's going to love us back. And while I do hope to plant these seeds of curiosity with healthier cooking, I'm also going to put a link in the chat. This is to a video series that was done by Stanford School of Medicine, and it's called Food for Health. And I strongly encourage you to check this out to build upon what we're sharing with you today on your own time. It's a series of 17 videos, really short, right? 3 to 5 minutes in length. And they just again, give some practical skills, some valuable information on how we can eat healthier and the why we want to move in this direction. And then before we get into the cooking, just want to highlight some of the handouts that were in your confirmation email for class today. This one specifically is the healthy plate as it regards to whole food plant-based eating. Many of you might be familiar with that food pyramid that we grew up with, right? But research and health data have changed, and now we have this new diagram called the healthy plate. The main takeaway from this is there are 3 quadrants. Half the plate is dedicated to vegetables, a fourth of it to a lean protein, and another fourth of it to a whole grain starch. And the starting off point is just to look for color on your plate. If you got some color, you got some rainbow on your plate looking back at you, you know that you're moving in the right direction. If you are interested in learning specifically about this healthy plate method, we do offer a separate 90-minute virtual class taught by our registered dietitians, and they're going to take you into a little deeper dive of that. But just want to bring that forward as a highlight today and how you can eat in these various formats. And with that, before I get into the cooking, I'm going to pull up the recipes that Chef's going to be preparing today so she can review those ingredients with you. Again, in your email invitation to join class today, it included the links to access those recipes so you can print or save them for yourself. And if you have any questions or need any substitutes as we go along the way, again, feel free to put that into the chat and we'll make sure to ask Chef about that. Also, just want to acknowledge there's probably a range of people attending tonight. As we could see, some of you are new. It's your very first class today, and some of you might have been with us for how many years we've been offering this, right? Maybe at least 5. So, you might be a pro at this already. So just want to be able to support you with knowledge and resources to move in the direction you choose at the pace that you choose. So again, these recipes are adaptable to your personal taste and preferences. So just congratulate yourself for being here and enjoying watching and listening to all of this and watching Chef Alyssa prepare these awesome meals today. So here's just a quick screenshot of where those recipes can be found in that registration email. And I think, Allison, you always do, or John, I don't know, one of you two always do such a great job of kind of putting a little clip into the chat as well. Yeah. So I'm sure everybody appreciates that, but just want to draw your attention there.
Yes.
And with that, right, fast and furious, let's get to the food.
Let's get to the food.
Let's get to the food.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to start off with Asian style tofu. And we're going to saute some tofu up with a marinade. And then we're going to make some musubis with the seasoned tofu. Do you want me to just go through the ingredients a little bit more?
Sure. You want to go through the marinade? I guess I can put that one back up.
Yeah. So the marinade is a combination of toasted sesame oil, shoyu or tamari, rice vinegar, sweetener. Today I use maple syrup, sriracha, which is that Thai chili paste you see at Thai restaurants. I can show you a bottle. And then garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. Just mix that together and you can put it on all kinds of things.
I just have to say that's one of my favorite recipes that she shares, so I really hope you guys will try that. And look at all the great things you can make with it, including this musubi.
Right, yeah, so we're going to, I have a musubi mold and I've cooked up some brown rice, so we're just going to layer that cooked tofu with some fresh avocado, some furikake, which is a seasoned nori sesame seed seasoning that's optional, or you could do sesame seeds, and then the tofu, and then we're going to wrap it with the nori, and then you have a nice snack for on the go.
Perfect. Awesome. I love it. We're getting bonuses in this class today. We're getting more than
a lot of recipes.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, and then we're going to make a fried rice, but we're going to use cauliflower rice. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you do that. And then it's basically after the cauliflower is riced, you make just a stir fry with some local flavors, and then you have that too. So we've got one more after this, but we've got yeah, this is a wonderful substitution for rice. Okay, and then the last one is called sesame noodles with kale, and you can we're using buckwheat soba noodles today, and some prepped kale and edamame, and again it's shoyu, sesame oil, and a little bit of sesame seeds to top it off. This is a great easy dinner, wonderful way to get kale in your get your kale in, and yeah, you could take this to a picnic real easy. It's a great dish.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thanks, Allison, for putting those images in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and take down the PowerPoint for now, and we'll be highlighting Chef Alyssa and her cooking station there. So you guys should be seeing that front and center in your screen.
Okay, so I've got a nonstick pan that is just heating up. So we'll see how it cooperates. I have some tofu that I sliced and drained, actually started yesterday just to kind of make it a little easier to work with. dry it out a little bit. And this is firm tofu. And then I put together the marinade right here. I put it all in a small mason jar. And I put a little bit of the marinade on the tofu just to kind of start the process with a basting brush. Oh, shoot. Okay. And just quickly want to make sure that that slid right off onto my tofu. Okay.
That's what we call a non-stick pan, right? It
There
just
you
slid right
go.
off.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Okay, so now I've got my pan is hot. And I'm going to put my tofu. I'm going to put it marinade side down. What's fun about this dish is you can use this just tofu for anything, right? You can use it for a stir fry. You can cut it in smaller cubes and put it in your cauliflower fried rice. You can just use it to nosh on, you know, when you're hungry, or you can just, nice to have it in the fridge just to munch on tofu and put it in whatever you desire. Because it's very versatile.
This is a delicious marinade.
I'm just going to put a little bit more on the other side. The other option is you could do is you can bake it. You can just put this in the oven and bake it at 350, turn it halfway through. Oh, okay. I'm going to turn it and see how hot it is. Not that bad. It was starting to splatter, but wasn't sure what it looks like underneath.
And just you guys, sorry, I'm adding the recipes in because I realized I had added the same one 3 times. So I'm just giving them to you in there. So
I was wondering why they kept popping
like, why
up.
are they coming up? It's because I'm making sure you have them.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Allison.
All right. So really what you want to do is you just want to saute it on both sides till it gets kind of crispy and brown. So I'm going to just do that for just a minute longer. And while that's doing it simmering and sauteing things, I'm going to start working on the musubi. So I have a musubi mold. I'm sure you've seen these before. I think I got mine at Long's. You could get it at Marukai, I don't know, any kind of an Asian store, Foodland. I'm probably in the Asian section. And then I cut a piece of nori in half. So I've got it in half. And I'm going to put the musubi mold. Let's see here. Can you see that? I'm sorry, it's a little bit off to the side. But I have the musubi mold here placed over the nori. And I've cooked some brown rice. And I'm going to put some brown rice. Could be white, it could be hapa.
Is there a particular type of rice, like basmati,
Yeah.
short grain, etc.?
Oh, yeah, no, this is short grain. And I tend to buy, well, I have an option of going to the like down to earth of the market where you can get bulk. But I kind of mix my short grain brown rice with a little bit of mochi brown rice, 1/4 to 3/4, and then that just gives it a little bit more stickiness, and that makes it easier, you know, sticks together.
You said that's a mochi brown rice? Is that a separate?
Yeah, it's called sweet brown rice.
Oh.
Kind of like how there's the sweet mochiko rice when you make, well, mochi flours out of it. Okay, so I've got some avocado. I'm putting my avocado in here. on top of the brown rice. Then I'm going to put, I have some furikake. I'm going to put a little bit of furikake on top. It's got sesame seeds in it. Then I'm going to take one of these seasoned tofus. And you can do this ahead of time too, and just have it. It's probably easier to work with when it's cool. Just
Fits
because we are,
perfectly.
huh?
Fits perfectly.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put this on a little bit. Yeah, and then what I do is I just use the top of the musubi mold and push it down. Kind of scoosh everything in there. And then I've got a little water over here to seal my nori. I'm gonna scooch it through, push this up. And then if it starts sticking, you just kind of hold your knife, lift that puppy off. Then I just kind of roll it. A little water on the edge there. Roll it on top, kind of shake it back and forth. And then I like to do a little bit of a, see if I have the right knife for this. Ah, yeah. I've got my musubi, just cutting it in half to show you.
Making me hungry.
Yeah. So anyways,
Beautiful.
there you go. I'll do it
Fantastic.
one more time. So I take my half a sheet of nori, put it down, put my mold over, put some rice on. And this is short grain brown with a little bit of mochiko rice, sweet mochi rice added in. So you can see it's kind of sticky. Then I put some avocado.
That's true. You really can put in the things you like, a little bit, right? Like carrot sticks or something to put in there. I know that doesn't make it classic, but
Sure, you just kind of want your carrots to be finely,
yes,
so
julienne or
yeah,
beautiful.
so they're easy
Hmm.
to bite through. A little bit of the and my tofu. Then I'm going to push it through.
And I think what's nice about this is something, this is where we get people to enjoy with your family. Bring the kids in, have some fun, do this together, make it take a twist on something that they're used to. They think I want that, something different, and go, let's try this and get their hands in there.
A little water on here. Then you could wrap it, let it cool a little bit, but you could wrap it in a little bit of plastic wrap. I'm not going to, and you could just eat it like this, yeah? Okay, so first recipe. Anybody have any questions?
Seem like something you guys might try? Seem doable to you? Let us know.
Seasoned tofu here, still in the skillet.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that tofu has a very good flavor to it. So don't look at it thinking, oh, it's not going to have any flavor, because that tofu
Exactly.
marinade has a lot of flavor. You could probably even drizzle some over that rice part. It'd be really good.
And
Yeah.
I was saying, one thing I really like about all the recipes from tonight is that these taste great hot or cold, warm or cold, and taste great the next day. So really good.
All right, so give me a sec. I'm just going to transfer this into the kitchen and bring out the cauliflower fried rice.
Well, And I love that we've got our healthy fats in there with the avocado in a
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice, portion, not too much, just a couple slices in there. We got our healthy grains. We've got the brown rice in there and a plant-based protein
Yeah.
with the tofu. So we've got it really elevated, the
Yes.
traditional one, right? Can feel good about it.
Just some small changes can
Yeah.
just make it nice and healthy.
Okay. So we're going to talk about how to rice the cauliflower.
This
And
is
the
a
nice thing
really,
now, it
yes,
comes in a
exciting. This
bag
is,
too, right? The
yeah. You can
rice
get it at
cauliflower
Costco
nowadays.
frozen, but it's so nice
Uh-huh.
because often, you buy that head of cauliflower and you use a
Mm-hmm.
little, and you're like, I don't know what to
That's
do with it
true.
all. So it's really a
Yep.
nice way to kind of use the rest of it. That's one of
Yep.
the
That
things I
happens to me
love
all the
when, yeah.
time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things, we all have that thing with a certain vegetable maybe, and I used to think, I don't like cauliflower. I don't like the way it tastes. And then there's so many different ways to make it. And just, it really is a great base for so many things. So I'm very excited about this one.
So over here, let's see, I'm trying to see what picture.
Looks good.
Okay. So um, the cauliflower, there's several ways you can do this. You can get a head of cauliflower, which I did today. And I cut it into florets about this size, about a little more than 1 inch. And I process them on the pulse setting of the food processor, my food processor. Uh, so that and I did half of it. So it's just 3 cups. So I did half of the recipe at a time. So I did 1.5 cups because if you put it all in and your processor can't handle it, then it starts getting kind of mushy. So it's basically kind of the size of rice. The other way you can do it is you can buy riced cauliflower that they sell in the freezer section of the grocery store. I actually got this from Target today. So I saw they did have riced cauliflower in the freezer. Safeway, I think all the grocery stores have it now. When you use, and Costco, I know they did at one point. I don't normally buy that quantity at Costco, but I've seen other people buy in the past. I find that with the frozen cauliflower, you have to saute it a little longer because there's a lot of moisture in it. But it's just basically kind of sauteing off the moisture. So beyond that, it's just some peas. It could be peas or edamame. You can add in. I was trying to do like local flavors fried rice. But we're having edamame with our soba noodles. So I chose the peas and some carrots. And then I actually have some kimchi today to add. So we're going to spice it up a little bit of kimchi. So I've got the oil heated in my pan. If you had a non-stick skillet, this would probably be a little better, but I don't have one in this size because the cauliflower can stick. So we're going to saute the carrots and peas to start. We're going to put the carrots in. And I have actually a spatula to do this. Some
Do you
peas.
defrost the peas or can you just put
I
them in
did.
frozen? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you have to, but I did just prepping and getting ready. And I'm going to add in the ginger. This is running kind of hot, so I don't know if I want to add in the garlic yet, so I don't want to burn it. This isn't my regular stove top. I'm just kind of keep learning the process here when I cook.
Trying something new.
Yeah. So this is on medium-high heat, and what you're trying to do is you want to get the carrots to not be crunchy. You're going to saute it for a few minutes. My ginger is kind of chunky, so I like that where you get a lot of big hits of ginger as you're eating them. If that's not kind of how you like your ginger, you can use a grater, kind of like a Parmesan cheese or lemon zester, one of those fine graters, and you can grate your ginger that way and add it in so it's nice and small little grated pieces. Okay, so now that I've got my carrots going soft, I'm going to add in my cauliflower. And this is 3 cups. And then you're going to add in the magic seasoning of turmeric, and that will make it yellow. So we've got, so a lot of fried rice has either eggs, yeah, in it. So this kind of makes it look like there's a little bit of egg. Turmeric is an antioxidant, so it's pretty, it's pretty well known right now, right? Turmeric. We're also known as Alena here on the islands if it's fresh. So I'm going to just sprinkle this in.
You know what I like about this too when you do it is it kind of, we don't have to use as much oil. And I think we all with fried rice use too much. And this almost gives that feeling of that more fried feeling with the color. And so I just love this turmeric trick.
Looks like I don't have my heat. Okay, there's it. And it gets darker as it sits. So it might look like it's not going to be really colorful right now, but color comes out. I'm mixing that in. And then what we're trying to do here is we're going to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes so the cauliflower gets a little bit lightly cooked. So it's not like really crunchy.
And I think this is a really great way for, sometimes with families, they don't feel like trying it. They're like, I don't like vegetables. And this is something that you can really, if they like fried rice and they kind of already have this linked thought of, oh, that looks like that. It's a good way to step them into vegetables. It's a really, really nice start.
I just added my garlic now. It doesn't take long for this to start softening. And then at the very end, I have salt and pepper. I have a little bit of sriracha, sesame oil, and bragg. Let's see here. Oh, tamari seasoning. Or you can use shoyu. All those are all interchangeable. If I'm going to add my kimchi.
That's a little hidden extra.
That is a little hidden extra.
Hidden extra. It's not in your recipe, but it's,
that.
have a good, I think that's the fun of making this, is that add in the flavors you like.
Because I added the kimchi, I'm not going to add the sriracha. That might be a little bit of overkill. Or might not, depending on the person, right? Okay, so I added some shoyu, some sesame oil.
I don't know about you guys, you must be getting hungry. Are you getting hungry out there? Heather, you must. Doesn't this look good?
Yeah, I would like to reach through the screen and serve myself. Yeah, I can practically smell it. It looks so good.
Exactly, it really does.
Yeah, it's just starting to get like kind of soft looking. So that's the point when you know your cauliflower is cooked. All right, so I'm going to turn this off and put this in a bowl.
And I think that turmeric is really, you didn't need a lot, and it did darken up a bit as you were cooking. That's just looks great.
Okay. There we go. That's beautiful.
Maybe pull it back a little bit. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
A little down. Like, yeah, I just don't want you to
Right.
get burnt. Don't get hot.
Right there. I'll bring it back
Good.
once I get this burner cooled down. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah. Does that seem like something you might put in your rotation of food for lunch or dinner or a meal?
So I love how you can satisfy that craving. It kind of plays a little bit of a mind trick because it looks just like the fried rice, and you can still get those flavors in there, but do it in a little healthier version. Yeah, the kind of the guilt-free fried rice, right?
And look at all the vegetables you got in there. I mean, that's what's so nice. Sometimes we really think, how am I going to get, we get stuck. Am I going to have half my plate salad or what am I going to do? And so it's just a really different way of getting your vegetables in.
Like we said, garlic and turmeric and ginger, these are all just great for the body, anti-inflammatory. The cauliflower, what a great cruciferous vegetable. So lots of good stuff in there.
We did get a good question for you, Chef. What's the difference between shoyu and tamari?
Well, tamari has no wheat in it, and it is, I want to say it's brewed a little bit longer. It's more concentrated in flavor, but it's shoyu, but no wheat. I think it's really the long term. Sits in the fat longer. Sorry, I don't know more than that. Other than it's got more of a concentrated flavor. It's a little thicker in consistency, and it has no wheat, so it's gluten free. But it's not really.
I was just going to say, I see you have the Bragg's bottle there too. You might want to showcase that real quick for folks that might not be familiar with it.
Yes.
Yeah, Bragg's also tastes a little different. This says vegetable protein from soybeans and water. I don't know the process of how they make it. It's got a different flavor, kind of like a shoyu, kind of like a thin shoyu, maybe not as intensely strong. How would you guys describe it?
I think you really said it. I was looking, the gluten-free part for some people is really key, and it's from the fermented soybeans without the wheat. So it is a good choice for people who also might be sensitive or have allergies. So that's a good one. And you got it in the fermentation process. And the lack of wheat contributes to the more intense umami flavor. So
thank you.
You got it. Yeah.
All right. Very good. All right. So any other questions before we move on to our kale soba noodle dish?
Anything coming in the chat yet, but please feel free. And if anything comes up, we can always round back to it at the end, you guys, if we've kind of moved on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always excited trying something different with kale because, you massage it when it's raw and how do you eat it? And sometimes I get very overwhelmed thinking, what do I do with kale? So I'm happy to have another recipe to try.
Yeah, and it's just amazing because they use a big bunch of kale. And I wanted to just kind of show what we're going to do is we're going to cook the kale. So I had some hot water on my stove. So hopefully this will come back up pretty quick. And we're going to cook the kale. I've done this several different ways, and you can too. I just want to showcase it this way. This is, curly kale, if you're not familiar with curly kale. When you get kale, you want to be sure, just have a good look, rinse it really well. I usually dunk it in some water and just give it a good rinse. Make sure there's no little buggies or anything. This is organic from Ma'o. But what I tend to do for this recipe is I will take off the rib, stem, rib, whatever you call it. You can also just kind of like strip it off like how you do with herbs.
I'm going to add you here so people can see that. I just added you in. So yeah.
This, and then you've got this kind of a leaf. And then I just wash it and then slice it really thin so that you're not going to have these huge pieces to eat, you know, kind of hard to get in your mouth. So I just wanted to show you what I meant when I said to trim off the thick stem from the kale.
We did have a question. Are there any kale alternatives for this one?
Any green. And so that might be also the reason it's, you know, sometimes I've done it where I've cooked it all together. You know, you put the soba noodles in, you put the kale in, you put the edamame. But, you know, if you don't want your kale to be overcooked, or like, let's say you're using spinach or bok choy or choy sum, it might be, you know, that's why I kind of separate this out, where I'm just putting the kale in first, and then I will take it out. So I think everyone too has personal tastes on how well they like their greens cooked, you know, depending upon going on with their teeth and where they come from, you know. I tend to like mine a little more crunchy. But if you're from the South, right, it would be cooked really well. So have the water come to a boil. And it also depends on, that's why, again, how I kind of keep it separate, because depending on what soba noodles you buy, and I bought this organic soba, which I think is actually from Australia, Haku Baku organic soba. Some soba takes less time to cook versus others. And this one takes, this is about right. This is 4 minutes. And then you're going to drain it and rinse it with cool water.
Good point, Heather, kind of putting in there to make sure you read the label on soba noodles and look for the sodium. I think that's a really good point, because
I found
there are
a
different
big
kinds.
differentiation between some of them, where I'll look at some of them and it's like 200 to 300 milligrams a serving. There's other ones that are 0. So there can be a big difference, between them.
Is, I think 3 or 5.
Perfect.
Yeah, milligrams. So I'm going to take it out. You can see I didn't cook that long, but it's nice and green. And I use one of these, wait, what do you call these?
Spider, I think, right?
Spider, right, thank you. They use it a lot for deep frying, right?
Aren't you guys laughing? The non-cook of the group knows the names of all of it, because I watch these so much. I enjoy it.
It's just a wonderful tool to have.
Yes.
Where I got it, maybe Maracay.
And I love it. Even the steam on this, I feel like we're right there. Just like
so
we
I'm
can reach
going
in.
to take the kale out, and then it'll come back to a boil. And I'm going to then take my soba noodles tend to be wrapped in 3 bundles. So I'm going to work on getting my bundles unwrapped.
I'm going to have you show that again. I just split the screen so they could see it. Right there you go. Perfect. There you go. Yeah. If I'm making you guys dizzy, let me know. But sometimes it's nice to see what she's throwing in there.
I should have. Hold on, I'm going to get a big chopstick first. These big chopsticks are good for. Sweet. Okay, I'm going to let this come up to a boil. Then I'll add in the edamame. Okay. Some edamame, these are ones without the pods. Some edamame say that they're cooked beforehand and just to reheat. This package didn't say that, so it's kind of interesting. Read the package on edamame too. Okay.
Kind of a nice 1-pot dish, which I think is always helpful.
Yes. I'm going to let it come back up, and then I'll do a little stirring. so those noodles don't stick together. With Asian noodles, you want to rinse them with cold water, not like traditional Italian. Sometimes they say to rinse, sometimes they don't, right? With Italian.
Yeah. Is that to stop kind of the starchy part of it?
Yeah. So yes, if it also depends if you want to sauce it or not, right? You want the sauce to stick.
Mm-hmm.
I think also to stop the cooking sometime, but you're
Yes.
right. I've heard with traditional Italian pastas that sometimes you don't want, it's a
No.
taboo to rinse it. So yeah, good to
Yeah.
clarify. With these ones, we do rinse it.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
glad you told us.
These ones we do. So it is bubbling away, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. Oh, I didn't set the timer, but I feel like, okay, you guys can tell me 3 minutes from now.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think what's so nice as you're doing this, here we just did 3 different things. And this is this our 4th one, and all in under an hour. And look at all the food you were able to prep. This food is going to be delicious cold, it's healthy, it's going to be good warmed up the next day, and it's fairly easy prep. And I think that's what we really appreciate, Chef Alyssa, is that you give us some great things that feel doable.
Right. And try and have a little bit of variety here.
Yes.
Another way to use, I wanted to share too, another way to use soba noodles. But when I was in college, I used to make a dish like this with ramen noodles. So I would take a package of ramen noodles and put in the greens and then toss it with the sesame oil and shoyu. And it was delicious. But
Just got rid of that flavor packet and make your own.
Yeah. So, it doesn't have to be soba noodles.
Any questions for Chef? You got another, what do we have, Heather, 2 minutes or a minute and a half?
Oh, for the boiling?
Yes.
Yeah, any questions?
You feeling motivated? I often, it seems, I was scared to try soba noodles because when you go, it just seems like, oh, that's got to be hard to make. I can't believe it only takes 4 minutes to cook them. That was news to me, not that 11 or 12 minutes. Really, you could have it. So, and you can get these ingredients so much more often in so many of our food stores.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one comes from, I find it in Foodland. No, I find this one in Times. Interesting. I don't know. Do you have Times on the Outer Islands?
We don't where I am.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. I have found some of those that used to be reserved for kind of quote health food stores have now cross-pollinated into some of our other more traditional grocery stores. So you wouldn't have to make an extra stop. You might just have to look in a different place. We tend to kind of go, like Allison, you always say, we go into the grocery store, we kind of go on autopilot and just get what we always got. And so give yourself a little extra time to, peruse around the store, familiarize yourself with where some of these ingredients are. And, once you've got it down, it'll be easy the next time.
Exactly. You're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. And if you go to an Asian market, then there's like so many choices. Then it's hard to choose.
All right. I would say you're there. We've hit that almost. We started. How close were we? That was 3.5 minutes from when you asked us to start.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't seem like it is, though.
Okay, well,
sometimes
the
they
joy
take a little bit
tasting.
longer.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about these particular noodles is I think they have more fiber in them as well. I don't know, you can probably look at the package and see, and we're always aiming to increase fiber in our diet. It does so many great things for us. In fact, most Americans do not get enough. We're getting there's only 6% of Americans are getting enough fiber. So all of these foods are going to help us to meet that goal, and choosing the type of noodles is one way to achieve that. So, do look at the labels. Yeah, what does it say? Does it have some fiber in there? But 3 grams something?
God.
You need your glasses. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on
No,
the
it's
spot.
just too funny. It's like, it's only 1 gram.
1 gram.
This one,
Okay. Well,
hey, getting some.
better
Yeah.
than nothing.
Yeah,
Right?
and
But there are
hey,
some you can compare. Yeah.
they
And then
are,
some of them have, the buckwheat first and the
yes.
wheat
Yes. And I
second.
think the
And I think
buckwheat
the
ones have a little bit
more,
more
more fiber.
fiber.
Yeah. This
Hmm.
one has the wheat first and then the
And
organic buckwheat. And you
and
can
we
get,
know, yeah. Go ahead.
Hmm.
you can get complete 100% buckwheat soba noodles.
Hmm.
They're harder to find and they cook up a little different. They get kind of, the water and the liquid gets pretty viscous
Hmm.
looking, but yeah, those are delicious and those are
Hmm.
much heartier.
Yeah, they're a little bit more expensive, but yes, in terms of
Oh,
health and nutrients,
right.
they do provide more literally
Mhm.
bang for the buck.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And we
good to
definitely
have
do know
options.
soba noodles are higher in fiber than white pasta. As we know, if you do one of Heather's classes, you'll hear what happens when we do things and we make them, we pull everything out. So we're looking for those whole wheat, those buckwheat, those things to get more
And
fiber.
drain it.
I'm just,
Nowadays there's so many noodles to choose from too, right? We've got lentil
yes.
noodles, we got edamame noodles, we got noodles made about just about everything. So you can always find what works best for you.
Or what texture you feel like, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
what's kind of fun. And I'm curious as we're waiting to see this, you guys chat in. Have you tried soba noodles before? Are you excited to try it? Or is this something that you're like, I know this already, Allison. I got this. I know the only time I ever try them is when I go out to eat. I'm always a little timid to try to make this at home. Are you guys making this for yourself? Let us know. Wait as we wait to see what happens.
Yeah, so I tend to drain it and pour water on it until it's kind of cool. So I'm going to pull it back. This is so hot.
Oh, don't burn yourself. Get something.
Yeah,
Safety
but
first, chef. Maybe she's going to go back to the other one.
I think so. This base wasn't supposed to get
Yeah.
hot, but it's really. Mm. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this here. Makes a lot too. Look at that.
Wow. That looks like a good meal prep for the week.
Yeah,
Good
right.
lunch prep. Yep.
And you can add, that tofu to this too.
There you go.
And this one you can the kale. Oh my goodness, right? I need a bigger bowl. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go the next size.
I feel healthier just looking at that.
Okay, here we go. We're going to move this. Wow.
Pretty
That looks
noodles,
beautiful.
doesn't
Well, like
it?
we said, we know we're moving in the right direction when we got color looking back at us, and
That's right.
I'm seeing some color.
Yeah, this would be nice too with a little bit of, carrot. This would be nice. Little julienne carrots. And then I have in the recipe where you can add a little bit of ginger, fresh ginger.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and add some ginger juice, kind of squeeze it. You just stir this. I don't want to break the noodles with these tongs. And then you toss it with a little bit of sesame seeds at the end. You can add some green onions. You can really bump this up, but it's just a general idea here, just to show you. This is the nice, simple version. But you can see how I can't even get this on with wet hands, but I'm going to.
Yeah. But I think sometimes we think noodles, things have to be complicated, and sometimes just being simple and really tasting the noodle you're getting and just try it. Give it a try. Try something new. You've motivated me. I'm going to go get some, try this recipe this week.
Yeah, and it's amazing here. You got all this wonderful kale, just or whatever green you desire. Uh, Gosh, any of it'll work. Spinach, then just do a quick blanch. Spinach it.
Maybe even broccoli. You could do a
Oh,
quick blanch of
broccoli
some
would be
broccoli.
delicious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can see how you got all the edamame there. And you could do green onions, you could do cilantro, right? I mean, the world is your oyster.
You've really given us some great options between our tofu, our musubi, our cauliflower rice, and our soba, and all within this hour. You really, I mean, this is possible. Do you guys feel like this is something? Look at this. We can go to a party now and bring
Wow.
all these great things. I'm ready.
That is
Look at
so
that.
beautiful. Yeah. How are you guys feeling out there? I wish we had one of those
Yeah,
pulse checks, right? Like we do in some of our
exactly.
platforms, but is this feeling doable to you guys? Are you feeling inspired? Something you could try this week? And again, if you have any questions or feel
Yes.
like you might need some substitutes in order to make it more appealing for you, we'd be happy to have Chef answer some of those questions. But otherwise, this looks fantastic.
I agree. And so, this is the whole idea is we just want to get curious. We want to get excited, give something a try. I'm definitely going to put in, as I know we're going to continue on, we do this the fourth Thursday of every month. We hope that we give you some inspiration. I'm going to put in our flyer. I put it in the beginning if you want to go back. But Chef, those look great. And if
Thank
you have
you.
questions, we'll kind of open it up. And Heather, I know you have
Mm-hmm.
a few things to add at the end.
Yeah, I'll just kind of
Yeah,
pull this. I hate to take away from that
I
beautiful
know.
image of the food, but I
We'll bring it
promise this will
back.
just be short, right?
Yeah.
So I pull it back here. All right, you see that in there, Allison?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So again, we'll stay on for any questions that you might have. And, we do this every month. So if you enjoyed yourself, if you were inspired, we hope that you'll come and join us again. Our next class will be June 26th. We'll meet again on a Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. And Chef's going to come with some more fun recipes to try specifically for potlucks and parties, which, even this salad today, like you said, could be used for a potluck or a party. We're kind of
Yeah.
getting into that season of graduations and birthdays, whatever else you have going on, social events. So let's try to bring something healthy to the mix. And if you're thinking that you might want a little bit of support with putting this into practice, I mean, it's one thing to come every month and attend or be a little fly on the wall and kind of go, well, that looks interesting for somebody to try. We also want to encourage you to put this into practice. And if you need a little extra encouragement, partner with one of our wellness coaches. Allison and I fall in that category. We'd love to work with you to set some goals, be a sounding board. And sometimes we just need that accountability to actually do it and move
Right?
beyond the knowing and into the doing. So you can always either self-book wellness coaching on kp.org, or you can call our department phone number here to schedule that. Thanks, Allison, for putting that
Yeah.
into the chat. And then, we offer other classes in addition to this one. So we hope that you'll check out all of the ones available to you. They're all virtual, they're free, they're part of your benefits. They are offered every single month in a wide range of topics. So, whether it's cooking, sleep, exercise, right? Getting your plate in shape, we've got a topic for you. So we hope that you'll join us again, either for this class or for one of our other classes or wellness coaching. With that, I think anything you want to add, Allison?
No, we just really appreciate you being here. The fact that you're here means you're making some changes with your lifestyle or enhancing what you're doing already, and we congratulate you on that. We hope you have a great rest of your evening. Chef Alyssa, let's put her food back up there. We always thank you for being here and inspiring us to make good food. So we wish you a great
Thank
rest
you.
of your evening.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Mhm.
Happy, happy cooking, right?
Yes, yes. Happy cooking.
Yes, I know. I love it. I really think that the cauliflower fried rice is such a good
Mm-hmm.
one to kind of bring in as a staple to sort of
Mhm.
shift away when people are trying to make those changes from white rice or doing
Mm-hmm.
something. So I think it's a great one. I think the noodles are great. The musubi looks like fun to make. It's just great fun.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get your little mold again to make
From
that?
Longs.
Longs.
Longs, that's great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're easier to find.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Uh, they are. Those are fun things. Maybe kids could even help to make or,
Mhm.
get some people
Mhm.
in
Yes.
the kitchen with you to work together on that, make it a little bit of a family event and be fun too. Hmm.
So if there are any questions, let us know. Otherwise, I know, Chef, you got a lot of food there to eat or go pass around to some friends or
She's set
prep for
for
the
the week. She
week.
did her
You
meal prep.
are. I always wish we were there. One day, Heather, we're all going to
I
Yep.
be on the
know.
same island and we get to eat it
Right.
afterward.
Wouldn't that be
It
fun?
would be
I would
so
love
much
that.
fun.
It
You're
would be.
welcome.
Uh,
All right.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to have, wouldn't that be fun to do like a chef's table and then, we could all be there together and eat together and,
Yes. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Be really good. So we're very, but you know what? This is, that felt like we could put our hands in there and almost
It
grab
did.
it. It really did. So, all right,
Great
everyone,
setup.
have a fabulous evening. Enjoy yourself. And like Heather wrote, happy cooking and
Hmm.
really embrace just kind of being in your own healthy balance and taking care of yourself. So, thank you so much for joining us. And thanks, Chef, for
Yes.
being here.
Thank
Thanks, Chef.
you. Have a good
Awesome
Okay.
night.
as always. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
Okay.
Okay. Aloha,
Bye.
everybody.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Bye.